Hey, so I just wanted to do another quick little ranking thing. I'm not going to take too long on it. I don't even have anything written down because I already know my order, and there's only 4 movies, so it's just kind of like a little mini ranking. And that being said, seriously, I love all of these movies. So what am I ranking? Well, you already know because you already read the title, but I'm going to build up to it anyway because fake suspense, there's nothing like it. Yeah, it's the Scream franchise. I'm ranking the Scream franchise, but you didn't see that one coming, right? Alright, so the worst of the Scream movies is probably Scream 3. I'd say easily, but I don't know, I wouldn't say easily. The one that's up next is pretty, they're pretty neck and neck. They're pretty much I feel pretty similar about both of them. And I like both of them. I like Scream 3 quite a lot, to be honest. There's kind of a bit of fun in there. They go a little bit more meta with how they're making the Stab movie based on Scream and based on the original Scream of Sydney's life and everything, and so there's that kind of little bit of meta fun and stuff. And I don't know, there's a lot of Hollywood shit that they make fun of, and there's Jay and Silent Bob show up for a second for some reason in this one. But yeah, Scream 3 is maybe the weakest plot in terms of the twist and all, who the killer is and all that kind of stuff. I can spoil it, right? We're doing that. It's Sydney's long lost brother or whatever the fuck, and it's yeah, alright, I don't know what you're doing there. That's a little bit dumb, but sure. But there's some iconic stuff in here, like that scene where the thing is printing out and it says it smells like gas or whatever it says. I don't remember specifically. And then the house blows up. How fun. Scream 3 is good. And then next up at number 3 is Scream 4, which is another one that is going very meta. This one's going overboard with that kind of stuff, and there's such a high energy to this film that keeps up all the way through. This one is very I don't know, teenagey and stuff, I suppose. It's quick paced and funny. It's a lot more silly than the ones before it. I think this one's even more of a comedy than the predecessors, than the original trilogy. And there's something with this movie also that I have that will never go away, I don't think. The thing with Scream 4 is that it's the new one. Still in my mind, it came out 10 years ago or something? It came out in 2010, I think, right? 11 years. But in my mind, Scream 4 is the new one. It's the modern one. It's not in the 90s and early 2000s, it's just part of a different era, and it's all about legacy and shit. And so just in my mind, even when I'm rewatching the whole series, Scream 4 doesn't quite fit in, and it still feels like the new one that's just a little bit unwelcome, if that makes any sense. But I think I like it slightly more than 3, so I'm not shitting on it. It's good. I like it quite a bit, but yeah. Then at number 2 is Scream 2, because come on, we know what number 1 is. Scream 2 it's starting to be a little bit more silly in a way, but it's mainly keeping to the original thing. For me, it feels very similar to the first one in terms of how meta it gets in terms of making fun of film tropes and all that kind of stuff. Again, I wouldn't say that I would call these movies straight up comedies, but I love how they kind of have fun with this stuff. And the character of Randy in this one and the first one is just, I love him. He's so good. He's me in these movies. And the starting scene of this, by the way, is particularly well done in the cinema. Horrible stuff, and very much holds up to the classic original opening, if you ask me. Probably not as remembered and kind of regarded as a classic to most people, but in my mind, yeah, it's a straight up classic, the opening to Scream 2. And I find it horrifying how she's screaming in front of everybody, but because they're at this silly horror event and everything, no one's taking it too seriously. It makes you feel kind of helpless, and I find that weirdly haunting. And then number 1, because come on, obviously the original, you can't beat the original. The original Scream is the very best one. I don't know why I put this up this is an indication of the original. This is all of them. But sure, go me, brain. The first one is absolutely a classic. It's the one that set everything up. That opening scene, which would have shocked audiences, where they killed Drew Barrymore off, would have been a great experience to have in cinemas. I kind of I didn't have that experience, I guess. It's kind of a thing that you just already know by the time I watched it, but it's still such a effective opening. The way that she is just when he cuts her throat and she can't scream for her parents who are right there, and oh man, that's some horrible stuff. For as fun as this franchise is, That is fucking brutal. And then, yeah, obviously, it also introduces Sydney Prescott and Dewey and everything. All of the main characters obviously come from this one, and it's great. And that's all. That's all I have to say. This was just like a quick one or whatever. Yeah. Scream. I like Scream. I am planning to do another Scream video soon. Maybe multiple Scream videos at some point. Obviously for the lead up to Scream 5, which is coming out next year? The end of this year? I think it's next year. Cool. Do the things, which are like, comment, and share, and subscribe and stuff. And thanks for watching. See ya.